What's going on, everybody?
Hey, y'all.
Yeah, we are back.
Woo!
Yes, it's Drinks and Conversation.
The podcast.
Yes, and I am Intro Picks, and I'm always in the building.
And I'm oxytocin, and it's always going down.
Yeah, we are back. Yep.
Hey, now. It feels good to be back.
Yeah, what's going on, Oxytocin?
You already know it is what it is. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing.
Hey, I see you feeling yourself with your blonde hair today.
You know, I'm a blonde temporarily.
All right.
You know.
We got an exciting show today.
You already know.
We got a friend to the show.
A friend
to the show. Make sure the mic is good.
Yeah.
We got Steven in the building.
Yes.
Yo, what's going on?
What up, man?
How y'all doing?
We're good. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's great to see y'all.
It's been a while.
A whole while.
Yes.
Yeah. So
we
tell us.
know-
Look, we trying to get into
Exactly.
the shit, right?
Exactly. So
we got a lot
you got
to talk
some
about.
new things. You're a husband now. You've been an author. We're gonna talk about the book, The Middleman, and you're also doing a Kickstarter right now for mental health awareness. So you could just start wherever you want to start, and you can go from there. Got a lot going on.
Yeah, it's a lot. That's a lot. It's a lot. I'll go ahead and start with being a husband.
Okay.
It's very, very different. I say it's like the foundation of a lot of what I do. It really helps me to stay sane, having a good woman at home.
Speak to the mic a little bit.
Having a good woman at home as a good foundation. I think it's a really good foundation. Next, I'd love to talk about raising awareness for mental health. I started a Kickstarter to basically make it more of a transparent thing. You see the shirt? I got a shirt on right now.
Was full disclosure.
Yes. So it says full
disclosure.
And it says God told me to go to therapy. And the huge thing that I have, I've noticed it with the church, with saved folks, whom I love. It's either one or the other. It's pray and ask God to heal you, or you can go to therapy. And I noticed that if you combine the two, it's actually way more beneficial.
Okay, God and therapy.
Correct.
Basically.
Because God has given us things on earth that we can use to be successful. We have tools we can use to be more effective, and sometimes we just don't utilize them.
Okay.
I think that's an issue. Like if you can have cancer, or you can have diabetes, you can have all these illnesses. Let's start with diabetes. And I can say, be healed. And I think that's great. I got faith to do that. But you also should probably go and do the treatment they give you, or take the medication they give you, and exercise.
Absolutely.
You can't just be like, nah, I'm not going to exercise. I'm not going to take the medication. I'm believing God for this, to be over.
Oh yeah, they talk about that pray it away. Like, I'm just gonna pray it away. No, you have to take some action. So I definitely agree.
Right.
With
I mean,
that
because there's
aspect of what
solutions
you're-
out there.
Absolutely.
Like, you don't wanna say, we're gonna hope that this thing goes away when there's a simple antibiotic that you could take. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So, with the research and things like that, that are available. Now, when it comes down to mental health, and what gave you the courage to kind of share like your story?
I would say I considered taking my own life, and I decided once I was healed from some traumatic events and I had bounced back, I was 100%. I didn't want to see anybody else go through that or take their own life, because I understood how real it was. Like, it could literally be over in the snap of a finger. So I was like, well, I volunteer as tribute, basically.
Okay. All right.
That's how did you know that there was a problem? Because I think sometimes people have those thoughts like, I just want to end it, but it could just be out of frustration. You don't really mean, what you're saying, but then sometimes people have those thoughts and it's like, whoa, I really need to get help because this is something that I'm really capable of doing. How did you know the difference between the two?
Well, think about this interesting statistic. 80% of people that lose their lives to suicide were dealing with a mental health disorder. Sometimes it's not even you. For instance, my brain doesn't produce serotonin the way that it should. I was diagnosed with bipolar 2. If my brain isn't producing the right type of chemicals, sometimes it can drag, it can wear on me like that. That doesn't mean I need to take my own life because my brain is acting up. I noticed that if let's say you eat McDonald's every day, your body also communicates to your brain and tells your brain, kind of how to feel. So, imagine not having a good diet and then feeling like you want to commit suicide. Like, well, there are some things that you can't control. You can control your diet. You can control your thoughts to the best of your ability. You can go to therapy. You can compartmentalize them. I don't know. Does that make sense?
It does make sense because serotonin is what the happy chemical, so it contributes to
And
like
then
your
there's
well-being
oxytocin.
and
Right.
your happiness. That's what
oxytocin.
So it definitely makes sense. What you were saying. And how did the book come about? You turning that into the book.
So the book came about when I dealt with, I would say like, I was bouncing back from actually going to a mental health clinic. It was called Shepherd Pratt in Baltimore. They offered me the opportunity to do inpatient and outpatient. Based on experiences that I heard from other people, I was definitely not going to do inpatient. They sent me to somewhere that was in my city. So I wound up writing about my experience, but stuff that I feel like God was showing me some practical principles as well as some spiritual principles. I didn't realize how, as Christians, we look at the Bible in a way that it perplexes me sometimes. Mm-hmm. So if you look at God for what He did for you, you'll be blessed by that. If you look at it by what God can do for you, then you'll always be looking to be blessed. So when I started to see mental health in this type of view, I started to realize God can heal me, or let's say He chooses not to. Just like you can have a grandmother that dies of cancer. You know what I'm saying? God can choose to heal her or not. But that's not why we come to God in the first place, to get whatever it is we want. He's not our genie.
Yep.
When it came to writing my book, I was just writing about a really gritty character in the Bible, Joseph. So Joseph went through like hell and high water for years. And I'm reading this joint like, yo, this dude got lied on, cheated on, and nothing ever got better. This dude was finally 30 years old and he became second in command, but it didn't even look like that was the case. He didn't get progressively better, it got progressively worse. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So being able to reference him and just like affirming other men, especially black men, like, yo, I know it could be difficult. We might not always have everything under control, but being gritty, having that courage to continue to get up and do it again every single day is what we need. And then there's certain principles that we can use every single day to continue to do it as well.
Now, Steve.
Absolutely. And let's just drop the name of the book because I missed that part before we started talking about it. The name of the book is The Middleman.
Correct.
And subtext, How to Be Successful as a Young Man. It was a great book. I read it. I read it a while ago when I first purchased it. I am actually excited to get it signed by the author. We have the author in the house.
Absolutely.
But it is a short read. And tell the people why it is a short read. Because I read online, no one has anything bad to say, but there was a review about how the book is so short. But that was intentional. So go ahead and tell us more about that.
Oh, well, the book was short because I wanted to be a short read for young men. And as a black man, I'm interested in reading.
Mm-hmm.
I love to read, but sometimes it could be a chore. And that doesn't mean that I don't need to be reading more. That doesn't mean I don't need to be encouraged to read more. But in my own like downtime, I might not really read that much. I might be more concerned with the stresses that I have to deal with than picking up a book. So Tony Dungy wrote a book that I really liked. It was called Quiet Strength. Mm-hmm. And I love Tony Dungy. Like, Tony Dungy is my guy. He represents everything that's character and integrity in a black man that I could ask for. His book was like 600 pages long, and I was like, I read the first 12 pages and fell asleep on it. I literally fell asleep, and I was like, well, I'm not going to do that to my brothers.
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and write a book that's a quick read. I want you to get what you need out of it. And that's also how I speak. Whenever I do speaking engagements, I don't go over 20 minutes. And people be mad at me. They be like, no, you have an hour block. I'd be like, no, I'm going to give you 3 points that you're going to be able to take with you for the rest of your life that you might repeat later on and be like, all right, well, he said to do this. He said to do that. You know
Absolutely.
So you
it's
get-
about the impact of the message.
Right,
You know what I mean?
and you
yeah.
get right to the point, basically, and I think that's a fantastic way to write books and do things like that, because a lot of times, like you said, especially with guys, you know,
And guys,
you
like
know,
you
if we're
said,
not
like,
really into, we're not gonna sit there and read a book for 3 days, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like we do want to have something, you know, a little bit more quicker and get
Yeah.
right to the point, no chaser. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Basically,
Yeah, and it's
in my
definitely
drinks and
that.
conversations voice.
We
But,
also
yeah.
we also live in the microwave era,
We do.
where this book is $4.99 on Kindle. Like, why would you not have it on Kindle and it could be read in like 40 little pages?
40 little pages and
Like,
keep
nah,
going.
my Instagram story is less than that. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
true.
Let me go ahead and just get this joint on Kindle.
Now what about when it comes down to like therapy and stuff? Now what about people that don't want to go to therapy, like that are just against that? How are you letting people know that this is important enough for your mental and physical well-being, as far as that they're just opposed to it? A lot of people in our community, really, basically, that are just like, I'm not about to go and see a therapist. Like, I'm not about to.
That's a good question. Let's say you weren't interested in going to therapy and you had your own reservations. I would ask you what your reservations were, and you might start to flesh it out for me. You might not even realize that that's therapy. You know what I'm saying? It's therapeutic because you're letting go of certain things that might be keeping you from something. A lot of people have certain fears that they don't even express. What's behind the door? They'll just say, I have this fear. Me, I was afraid to swim. I almost drowned twice. Once at 5.
I don't like swimming either.
Yeah, and that's usually the end of
My
the
feet
story.
can't touch the floor.
Exactly.
Ugh.
That's the end of the story. Nah,
You know
I ain't
what I'm
going
saying?
swimming.
I ain't going
I ain't
that far.
jumping in there.
Nah.
Nah. But like,
life jacket.
What's behind that door, though? You know what I'm saying? Like, ask another question behind
Death.
that. I'm afraid to die.
I know. Right?
Oh, why are you afraid to die? Do you
Let's-
not feel like, there's anything you can do to prevent yourself from dying? Do you know how to swim? Like, there's more questions to be asked behind that.
Listen, I don't like the whole swimming thing. But go ahead.
No,
I got you.
but I'm gonna use myself as an example.
Okay.
Like, somebody will say, like, let's go swimming. I'd be like, nah, I'm good. I'm straight.
Yeah.
I don't do the swimming thing.
So you don't go swimming at all, though?
Oh, nah. I will get in the water now
Okay,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
I've gotten over that fear to a certain extent.
Okay.
But before, it'd be a shut case. Like,
Right.
nah, we're not even talking about it. When I started going to therapy, I started to realize, like, I almost drowned at 5 and at 19. And I have, like, I used to have a reaction when I got around water. My hands would get clammy and my hair would stand up on my arms and stuff like that. I started talking about it. That went away. But behind that door was the traumatic experiences that I faced as a child and as an adult, and I never wanted to open that door again. So, nah, we're not even talking about that stuff.
Okay.
It's a choice. You have a choice to continue to be scared, or you got a choice to say, you know what? Let me learn how to swim. Let me
That
put my
is true.
toes in the
That is
water a
true.
little
I got
bit.
you, Jeremiah.
Okay.
It's all about choices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let the chlorine get in your eyes.
Let
a
the
little bit. Let's
Your
do a little
eyes start
something
burning
like
from that pool water.
Now, how do you find a good therapist? Because
That's a good one.
one of the things that I've noticed is that it's hard to sometimes connect. Sometimes, and even in my own experience, when seeking a therapist, you just might not click, dog. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, are we supposed to go through therapist after therapist after therapist to find the one that we really feel like we can open up to and help us? Because everybody's practice isn't the same.
So, think about what you just said. Do we go through the therapist after therapist to find the right one. You answered your own question, whether you realize it or not. Yeah, the same way you do with a dating relationship. Like, you don't never just stop dating after the first one. You might be like, oh, she cute. Or,
I mean, good analogy.
Let me get to know her a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Still spending money. Good analogy.
So with the therapist, like, it's really important to continue, just like you would with friends. You want to continue to like meet and talk and get to know a therapist and continue to weed them out if you have to. But when you find that one that clicks, boom, you're good. I have a therapist that I'm stuck with. I can't let her go nowhere. That, like, she's an amazing therapist.
And she gets you and she helps
gets
you.
Me. I can explain something and she'd be like, oh man, I know where this is going.
Yeah. Some people say a therapist is basically like a paid friend. Do you kind of agree with that?
I mean, I kind of do.
Yeah.
You need a paid friend?
Mine is more like a motherly figure.
Motherly figure?
Yeah.
I know that's right.
You really honestly have to do what you have to do for yourself. And it's something that sometimes nobody else can do for you. You have to take the initiative to do whatever, whether it's going to see a therapist, whether it's learning how to swim, or you are the person that is going to initiate that change in your life. So I definitely agree. If you got to see a therapist. I've been trying to learn how to swim. Maybe I'm going to do just that. Learn how to swim. I don't swim. No, I'm not afraid. I just don't know how to swim. I get in the water. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Water is a big thing.
Yes. So I want to go back to the Kickstarter though, because your goal is $650, correct?
Correct.
And you're currently at $466. So we need to get to $185 more in order to get you to that goal. I've donated to the Kickstarter. Intro Pix has donated to the Kickstarter.
And I put my pledge.
Yes, we did.
Well,
we pledged. And we encourage everybody to go and pledge and support this brother, because what he is doing is so amazing. Mental health is extremely important, especially in the time that we are living in. We can't wait to get our full disclosure shirts. And if they don't get to the goal, we don't get our shirts. And I want my shirt. So please donate to this amazing Kickstarter. Go ahead and let them know. Do your drop. Tell them come on and support.
So the wonderful thing about this is you're just purchasing a shirt basically, and you're helping me to raise mental health awareness.
Yes.
And the remainder of the money is being donated to the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention.
Oh, that's amazing.
I'm certified with multiple certifications. I just think it's important that you just see it. Like if I see 10 people with that same shirt on, I'm be like, dog, I gotta ask one of them a question. You know what I'm saying? So if it's populated in the DMV or any other area, like there's gonna be questions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking forward to, and we're close to the goal. I'm definitely looking forward to reaching it and sending y'all your shirts out. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we're gonna definitely make sure that you reach that goal.
You are gonna reach it. $184 left.
We claiming
to
that,
go.
and we putting that together.
Jesus,
Listen, you've already done it this far, and you know we need advocates like you in the community, honestly, because all of the stuff that you see going on in the world today, in the news and the media, like stuff like this is important. Awareness like this is important, and just being able to have a level of consciousness and being able to do the things that are right mentally, because that's our state of mind.
Absolutely.
You know, so I commend you, my brother. Just go ahead and do that now. Are we getting a second book? Are we doing? Are we doing more books or what? What will we doing?
So the second book will be. It's tough to really say, but I would do a second book literally talking about my experiences with mental health, and I've had to sit back and really think about would I be completely honest about what I've been dealing with. So a lot of it can sound prideful. Man, let me just tell you what it's about.
Go ahead.
Let what it's about?
Let us know.
Ain't nobody here but us.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'll tell you what it's about. And when you hear it, I want you to hear it with a filter.
Okay.
It's a filter of somebody who's not well. Okay? So keep that in mind. I'm the one that deals with a mental illness, and I'm the one that has to teach myself how to deal with it. I'm the one that has to instruct people that have been paid or gone to school to learn about it. I have to teach them how to help me. And I got to teach them what they need to do to help me and what they need to prescribe to me as far as medication is concerned. It's upsetting at times that I have to be the one to teach them. Then I got to turn around and tell everybody else, hey, this is the way. You know what I'm saying? Follow me. This is how you do this. If you're dealing with something, if you were diagnosed with something, this is how you do it. I had a friend that was recently just on live. I don't know if she's still on. What's up, Ari? She said we were talking about something as far as mental health was concerned, and she said she wanted to go to therapy, but she couldn't afford it at the time. And I was just like, oh, well, I got on Medicaid, and it made my behavioral health stuff free. And then she did too. She applied. She got on as well. And like that's a small little trick or tip that you can use in order to make sure that you're able to afford counseling. And I think that like we just don't know about it.
Yeah, we don't have the education and the awareness for that.
And the fact that I gotta turn around and tell people that, I'm pissed. So that's why it sounds prideful, because I have to teach everybody, but y'all went to school for this. I experienced it, and I became a leader, but y'all should have been leaders because y'all went to school for it.
But do you think that they're unable to? Because sometimes you have to go through certain things to experience it, and maybe they haven't been through it, so they do know a lot about it, but that specific part where you're coming from, because you know of it, they have yet to experience that, so they actually can't tap into that like you can.
Hey, that's true, but I also won't get the same jobs that they'll get. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even asking to be a counselor.
Yeah.
I might be asking to work for the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. But they'll get it because they got their master's in psychology or something like that. But I'm the one that understands mental illness.
They're in those positions, like, already.
Right.
Like, you wouldn't be the person in those positions. But they are. They are in those positions, and they should know. You know what I'm saying? They should know exactly what to do.
So can you feel where I'm coming from?
I definitely get what you're coming from, but I also I understand that too. Like a lot of times,
or maybe you could find someone to work closely with, and maybe you two can kind of do something together where in the areas that they lack, you exceed, and vice versa. Since they have the degrees to get in the door, and then you have the actual experience. If you find someone, you two can probably work better together and move forward.
So that's a really great suggestion, and that's what makes me hesitant with the book, because there could be a resolution or it could be a solution to this. Yeah. But if I put out the book and it just appears prideful, then it's just like, he let out a little bit of heat on that one. What's going on?
Gotcha. Or if you go into it with the right person and it's double. Are you self-published?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. Y'all better go get this book. Yes.
Come on now.
Yes. That's what's up.
So, Stephen, what would you say to kids, teenagers growing up that are experiencing high school and they're going through the teenage phase and peer pressure and stress and all of those things that come to really defining your identity? What's your message to them?
That's a really interesting question, because everybody might say be yourself, but I would say learn about who you are. I learned real quick that I wasn't the fastest when I was in high school, so I wound up running long distance, and I was really good at long distance, but it defined my identity. Don't let the stuff that you do define your identity. It could be taken away from you in a moment, and it'll cause your mental health to disintegrate. There's no reason for that. That's not what defines you.
That's true. Look, you change after high school, you know.
You do. You know what's funny? You change even after high school, after college. At 30, you change. You're different from 40. You're different from 50. We're always changing.
Yeah.
And that's why I hate the term when people say, "Oh, you're stuck in your ways." Like, "Oh no, that's just you're never gonna change." Don't say that. Don't limit yourself.
Some people don't never change.
No, but they can. The thing is that they can. They have the capability of changing. Yes. Yeah. And that's what's important to know that you can. Now, if you choose not to, that's one thing. But you do have the ability to change.
That is important.
Yeah.
That's good. You know, that makes perfect sense. Now, Zippy, let's go back to you being a new husband.
Newlyweds, clap it
newlywed
up.
husband,
Woo!
yeah, and in relationship.
I got you, Jenny.
You know, because we do have our 10th event coming up, you know, and this one is Sex and Lies.
Our theme.
Oh.
You know,
Don't get me in trouble.
the Sex and Lies. Where does Sex and Lies fit in a marriage?
Nowhere. Sorry.
They
I'm
don't-
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm like, what?
Okay.
Where
Forgive me.
where does sex and or lies? fit?
And or lies, yes.
So it could be one or the other.
Or both.
I don't think it fits.
You don't think
You can't be
both
having
of them
sex
fit?
and lying.
Exactly.
I mean, well, let me clarify. Okay.
Please do.
All right.
Please do.
When it comes down let's start off with sex. Okay. Let's start off with sex in a marriage.
Okay.
What does that play? And specifically as far as waiting to have sex before marriage.
Okay, so waiting to have sex before marriage is like I'm kind of waiting for that special person. You finally meet this mystical person that you imagined all this time that you had to create a relationship with over the course of 2 years, and then y'all get married. Congratulations, you did it. But that's not where the work ends. It's almost like you have to work to have sex once you get married.
Okay.
So
You have to work to have
So
sex.
some
Okay.
people, you want to have sex, it's like a little bit of lust involved or a lot of lust. But once you're married, it's love. So
Right.
it's no longer that lust anymore. It's love. So you kind of have to work to have sex. So
okay.
I gotta think, how can I get your drawers off tonight?
Yeah, you gotta be a little bit more creative.
Oh, absolutely. You gotta
Yeah.
care for the person. Oh, you don't feel well tonight, babe? Okay, well here, let's cuddle up and go to sleep. Take one for the team.
Okay. What you think?
What do I think?
Yes.
I already answered. I think I answered immediately. I don't think sex and lies has no place.
No, I
in a
mean just
marriage.
sex. What about sex before marriage?
Sex before marriage? Oh, I'm celibate, so I'm not with it. You know, I just wrote a blog. Actually, I just submitted a blog post for Stuck in the Middle, just talking about my. It's called 7 years celibate and counting, or something like that.
7 years?
7 years. Yes. Thank you for the juice.
I haven't
Why
done
you
nothing for
why
7
you
years.
think like you married?
I haven't done anything for 7 years. I haven't been to the same job. I haven't been breathing the same
Oh,
way.
well, okay. Well, yeah.
Yeah. So
The
I mean.
commitment.
Yeah, so I'm not with it. I mean, clearly I'm a mom, so I was with it. But you know, as I got older, you evolve. So yeah.
So basically, what you're saying is you're doing sex before
no
marriage.
sex before.
No sex,
marriage.
shawty.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well,
And,
I
and
mean,
just so y'all know, I had my daughter when I was in high school, so don't be like, oh, she talking. No, I was young, so yeah. Just want to throw that little disclaimer out there.
Hey, 7 years, though.
7 years is a little.
7 years and counting.
What you waiting for? Yeah.
I'm hoping. Sometimes, I feel like, am I gonna die and like never have sex?
But just remember
again?
for me, though.
Like that random thought. Just
Remember, you're waiting for like the person and what comes with it.
Exactly.
You're not waiting to have sex.
Exactly.
Because once I realized sex was not that important, look, I understand when you're single,
Exactly.
sex is like all you think about.
And I get that. I really do. But I feel like there are moments where it's just like, because you've experienced that before, so you know what it feels like, and there are moments when that thought creeps in your head. But you just gotta, like you said, just remember what the end game is and why you're doing what you're doing. So yeah. Intro picks. What about you? What, yesterday?
Look, I can't say that I'm waiting before
You're not.
before marriage. Nah, I can't say that. It's a good idea. Like it. No, I think. Damn.
Bruh.
Look, it just ain't happening over here. It's just not happening over here. But listen, I do feel like it is important. You definitely gotta have that bond that's there, and I feel like you just go on Go on about your business.
Well, there's protection there when you're not having sex, actually. Let's say the relationship ends after a year and you gave yourself to that person. They got a piece of you. You're not getting that piece back. And then y'all break up and then y'all gone for good. Hold on.
I got a piece of them. Either way, you know what I'm saying? So, look, there's a lot of pieces to the and a little piece collector.
That puzzle don't match.
He's a match.
I know the
Oh
puzzle
my
ain't gonna
God.
need.
Let me say something. The more that you collect, you talking about collecting pieces, the more you collect, it like brings you to a point where it's like a comparison trap when you get married. And trust me, you don't need to have any flashbacks, any visions, or
It ain't that many pieces, man. It ain't that many pieces. But the thing about it is, I mean, listen, I just feel like that experience, you can do it. People can do it. And I'm not having anything against people that wait until, marriage to do so. But I also feel like, you know what I'm saying? Listen, it's hard out here for a bit.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta do it. My mental guard ain't all the way, up there just yet. Just yet. I don't know. I don't know. We can't do it. Yeah. But in a relationship, when it comes down this people always say it take a lifetime to know someone. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I don't know everything about my wife. It hasn't been very long, so yeah, I say it takes a lifetime.
It takes a lifetime to know somebody.
Because you're constantly changing. Going back to Tosin, like you change at 20, 30, 40.
Yeah.
And you got the ability to continue to change for better or for worse.
That's true. Now, what if it gets worse? I mean, how worse? There's some heavy situations that go down. Have you thought? It's just.
Oh, so there
I
is.
Can't
a
even
point.
get the question out. Look, I can't even get the question out. When it gets tough, or when it gets the hardest of the hardest, how you got to make sure that you're able to stand in that.
Listen, you can always be like, hey, we getting a divorce, okay? But it takes a lot more strength to be like, we're going to work through this together. And I think that's the whole point why we got married in the first place. So if it's something that's doable, counseling can be something that attributes to your success. Like, you should do it. So I think it could be work.
Okay. So you got to have a forgiving heart, basically, in this situation.
Yeah.
In any type of marriage.
I mean, that's your partner.
Yeah.
That's your partner in life.
And when you really go into marriage with the mindset that divorce is not an option, like we are really in it.
Like Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith?
Yeah, like I can't go anywhere.
I can't.
I can't. Well,
I can't with them.
No, but
on one side of the house and the other side of the house, I think you can.
They're whack for that.
They whack for that.
They're super whack.
Why are they super
No,
whack
because
for
people go
that?
to their respective corners when they need a timeout.
So we're gonna
Sometimes you
get.
need a timeout.
You're gonna
So we're
stay
gonna-
married.
This is what they said. We gonna
I'm
get
cutting
divorced.
that part out. I'm cutting that part out where they said he could be on the other side with another joker. I ain't talking about that. I'm just saying you could be on one side and she could be on the other side. That's it. Not with other people. That I don't agree with. But I think sometimes a little space is what's up. But when both individuals have the mindset that look, this not breaking. Like that's not even an option. So whatever it is, we got to work it out.
We're gonna adjust it out.
We got to work it out. I think if both people have that mindset,
Oh, Stephen,
y'all
I
be
took
good.
the mic off the thing. He might hand it to you. Let me sit back. Go ahead. Collect my thoughts. Go ahead, Steve. It's still a show. Let her know.
I don't even want to steal the show, but that interview was whack. Man.
Well, I like that. I think I'm open to seeing what works for other people, or just hearing how other people do their stuff. Granted, am I gonna emulate that? No. I'm gonna take bits and pieces of it because some of what they're sharing, it may work for me, but not all of it. And I may disagree with some things that they're doing. Like I said, I'm not. He's not. If I'm married, he's not going to be on the other side of the house with some other. No, but you can be on the other side of the house until I calm down, and then we can come back, reconvene, and figure some stuff out.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
So he could have a whole nother girlfriend.
That's
a whole
no,
nother stuff,
and
then
no.
you gonna
And
be
on a
good.
whole other side of the
it's
house.
so funny. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just
That's
saying.
what Jada was saying.
No, and I understand that, and I said that I don't agree with. I'm just saying, like, when people share, what works for them.
But
you
that's
can
what
pick-
she's saying. Like,
Oh,
if you
yeah,
want to
then
go
no.
ahead and have your, we still
Yeah,
gonna be
no, I
married
ain't
for
with
the
that.
sake of the family.
I ain't with that.
Right, we friends for life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but we
no.
friends for life. If you
No,
want to
sir.
go ahead, if I gotta have my dude over here and you gotta have your
Except
girl
Pop.
over there, then but then see,
Except
you're not
Pop.
really down like how they say.
Except Pop.
You're not Jada down.
Look, my
We
man
need
gonna
some
be on the
girls like
same
Jada in our
wavelength
lives.
of me. You a mess. You a mess. Now you can have that.
What you think, Steven? What?
That whole thing blew my mind. I'm gonna let it go. I promise.
Okay.
I promise. But like every time I hear Jada talk now, I just be like, what mumbo jumbo are you talking about, Jada? Like, do you believe in traditional marriage or
She don't.
or-
She believe in life partnerships, which is cool. Which
she,
is the
she
same
kept
thing.
saying partner. She was like, "No, it's my partner. It's my partner." And
But
then
you
I'm
are
like,
life partners at the end of the day, because here's the thing: when you've been in a relationship for a long period of time, that is your partner.
no, I agree. I've used partner in this interview.
Yeah,
But like the way she was saying it was like we work together, but we ain't got to be together.
and that could be the same thing too, because they done chose each
Then
other.
what's
and
the
they've
for
been
better or
married.
for worse part then?
I mean, they probably better. Listen, it ain't no worse if they both got their own little thing and they keeping everything. They keeping the family happy, which is the business. Is you raising kids and being a parent and being, or having money and being taken care of. Now, sexually, if you want to go
That
ahead
was
and do
well
your thing.
articulated up until what you about to say. I can feel
What?
it. Everything you just said was well articulated.
I mean, that's the whole business of
Yeah.
being, together. So if that part of it is, she's like, no, we're not about to separate everything, just for some little dirty drawers that you're trying to sell on eBay.
Trying to sell on eBay.
You the one talking about some you putting it. Look, you guys.
Yeah, that's what we said. That's what
That
we
story
said.
was just. I'm done with that.
Well, look, dude, where can the people find
Follow
man,
you, find you,
get
and cop this book. Let them know to get the book and give it to a young man in your life, your neighbor. If you're a teacher, give it to your students. Y'all read about it, write about it. I think this is good stuff, man. For real.
You can find me. I'm the most active. You can find me anywhere, but I'm most active on Instagram at Stephen the Speaker. Stephen with a PH. I
Okay.
come up immediately after Wardell Curry,
Mhm.
and as soon as you see me, you just hit the follow link. Listen, I want to make this clear because I talked about it in a previous interview. I don't want followers, for any type of fame. Like, oh, he has 21,000 followers, or he's verified on. Like, I actually don't want that. I just want to save as many people's lives as I can. I want to keep as many
That's what's
people
more important.
Amen.
from taking their own lives. A lot goes on in my inbox, a lot goes on in my DMs, and sometimes like it could be a little disheartening. But I'll be having conversations like, "Hey, I thought about taking my life today, but what you said earlier had me thinking." The next thing you know, I'm talking with somebody for the rest of the day,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, "Man, that was heavy." So that's what I'm using my platforms for, just to be available for other people to kind of reach me. What was the other question you asked me?
I asked you a different question.
Um,
Just letting them know where to. Oh, I'm sorry. Where to cop the book from? Where they can find
Okay.
you on social media.
So you can cop the book on Amazon.com.
Yep, that's
You
where I
just
got it
type
from.
You just type in my first and last name, Stephen with a PH. My last name is Swinson, SWINSON. Also, let me update you real quick. I started my own basically clothing line.
Whoop whoop.
So
Whoa.
it'll be starting right after the Kickstarter is over.
Do you got a 4X?
I can make one for you.
We're gonna get all right. We get us on the 4X, and we we gonna get that. We gonna get that popping.
I can
Also,
Man, listen.
hold on. Before we even try to get out of here, I just want to mention that if we can get 20 people to literally donate $9.20, that will get Steven to his goal. That will get the Kickstarter to its goal.
Okay.
That's
And
good,
if it's
man.
more than 20 people, put up 30 people, it goes down. So please remember to donate to the Kickstarter. Intro Pix is going to post a link on his social media. I'm going to
Sure
post
will.
it as well. We got you to make it shareable. So we're going to have that information on there for you to please support.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much for even putting that out there. And please don't forget to vote for them for
Yes.
the
Entrepreneurs
yes.
Rock.
show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Listen, you're a friend to the show. You come back anytime, man.
Anytime.
You already know.
Can you
what
tell
it
that I
is.
love the show?
I know.
Yes.
You here chilling with us. You know what I'm saying? Steven's in the building, man.
Woo-hoo.
Thank you for coming through.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you for kicking it with us.